What is up, everybody? It's your girl Juju the Master Manifester, and I am back with another video.
I'm a first-class root doctor.
So today we'll be talking about my move to Houston and pretty much everything it took for me to get here, okay? So I don't want to skip any steps, so I want to make sure I give you guys enough context so you can fully understand. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ju. I'm a business owner. I own a metaphysical store. I sell spiritual products, and I also do tarot readings, and I'm a spiritual coach. It's just a little bit of backstory. So let's start from the beginning. Now, my freshman year of college, which was in 2014, I moved to Houston, Texas because I got into the school of my dreams, which is Texas Southern University. I always wanted to live in Houston. I always wanted to go to TSU. That was the only school I applied to. It's the only school I wanted to go to, right? Let's just say I came to Houston. I moved to Houston. I started my classes at TSU. A lot of things happened, but pretty much as an out-of-state student, your tuition is way more expensive. So, the scholarship that I got to go to TSU was an academic scholarship, and it was also a fee waiver included, which was like $8,000. The academic scholarship was only like $2,000. Guy who promised me the fee waiver, which was going to waive my out-of-state tuition, he pretty much didn't honor that. So I came here, I started classes, then midterms hit. Once midterms hit, they start sending me all types of letters saying that this money needed to be paid before this time. Now, keep in mind, all college freshmen or people who have been to college, stayed on campus, you already know how it goes, especially if you go to a HBCU. I don't know what it is, but the financial aid office, the business office, they start emailing me. They start, like, when I say that, panic set in because I was like, what am I going to do? Like, this is my only option. I have no other options. Long story short, I end up having to go home. I know that it was nothing but God and my ancestors. Let's just say I was not ready. I wasn't ready to be in a big city. And if you are moving to a big city, this is just some advice. Be careful who you hang with. Be careful the crowd that you surround yourself with, because things can happen within a blink of an eye. And I will never forget when I first came to Houston, me and my mom, we came for freshman. It was like a freshman orientation. So we came down here and we got into a cab, right? And this is as soon as we made it into the city. The cab driver said, be careful in Houston because your life can change so fast. And he was just like, I've seen so many people get on drugs, strung out, or in bad situations. So you can be one way when you come here, but you might not leave that way. So just be careful, be mindful. So that always stuck with me because I'm from the country pretty much. So you have to think, when you're coming from a place with a small town mindset and you're going into a big city, you're not going to be used to shit. Let's just call it what it is. Like, you ain't used to shit. That happened. I feel like that was definitely spirit communicating with me before I was even into like my ancestors and connecting with my spirit team. I feel like they were already communicating. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, and I was in shit that I shouldn't have been in. And I think that's why I end up having to go home. Like, I don't think that it was just chance. I think that really has something to do with my journey. So fast forward to me going home. I end up going home. I remember crying. Like, I cried so hard because that was my only plan. I didn't have a plan B because that's where I wanted to be. I always wanted to go to TSU, and I always wanted to live in Houston. So I remember crying myself to sleep. My mom came upstairs, she came to my room, and she was like, I just got off the phone with so-and-so, and she was like, they said that you can come to Arkansas Baptist. So for those of you who don't know, Arkansas Baptist is a junior college. It's a HBCU. So she was like, you can go to Arkansas Baptist. Now me, I've already heard shit about Baptist. So I'm like, I'm not going to Baptist. Hell to the no. I'm like, no, I'm not going. She was like, you're already accepted. They have a great business program. You can live on campus and all of this stuff or whatever. I'm like, I didn't want to, because to me, in my mind, it was a downgrade. It was a downgrade in my mind. I ended up going to Baptist, and when I say it was the best, I had the best college experience at Baptist. And I think because it was a smaller school, but it still was very fun. Like, when I say fun, I think all HBCUs are fun because you're around your people. So everything that you're doing is like geared towards your people. So when I say I gained a ton of experience, like on campus experience, I became Miss Freshman. So I was on homecoming court. My family got to come see me. Like, for homecoming, I had on, it was kind of like a debutante type of thing. You know how homecoming is, like you walk on the field. For our show, it was like a formal dance. It kind of gave debutante. it was just a beautiful memory. Like my mom was there. It just felt good. Had I stayed at TSU, I might not have had that opportunity because it's so many students. I could have ran for Miss Freshman, but who would have said I would have got it? Then at the time, the AKAs at TSU were suspended on campus. So had I stayed there for 4 years, I would have never became an AKA. So fast forward, I end up leaving Baptist because I wanted to finish at a 4-year university. So I transferred to the school I graduated from, the school I pledged at. So many great things happened there. I end up getting my license. I end up getting a car. Keep in mind, if I was in Houston, I never would have gotten my license because what's the odds you meet somebody as a freshman that's going to teach you how to drive in their car in Houston, knowing Houston traffic? That would have never happened. So I would have still probably been without a car. Probably would have been without a license because it wouldn't have been as easy. It wasn't easy to get my license, but in Arkansas it's smaller. It's more like the roads are more manageable. So, and then all my family is there. So I would have had somebody to at least like help me or whatever. But anyways, my school that I graduated from, I ended up getting an apartment. Like I was doing so good there. I did so good there. So we're going to fast forward to graduation. I graduated. Well, not even graduation. We'll say my junior year, okay, which was in 2017. This is the year where shit started popping off, okay? So shit started popping off, I'll say in a good way, but it was also like, I feel like I was going through an awakening during this period. We're talking about my move to Houston, so I kind of want to stay on track just a little bit, but I'll say the year I pledged, all 18, this was the year before I graduated. So, I had a lot of good experiences with AKA. I got a lot of good experiences like on campus. I was very involved, very busy. But the year I end up pledging, I had to leave my apartment and I ended up staying with two of my best friends. Small town people always say shit like, oh, you'll be back. I literally had my high school math teacher told me, you'll be back. They always come back. Literally told me that to my fucking face. And I just was like, what? But it's crazy because I end up having to come back. So in my mind, I'm embarrassed. I feel like not like a low life, but that's what I was thinking when I had to come back home to Arkansas. Like when I figured out, I'm going to be going to Baptist. Like when I say load, I'm going to get back to the year 2017. So in that year, I started manifesting because I said, I know I want to go back to Houston. That became my mission. After I had to leave, that became my mission to get back to Houston. I just made it my mission. Like, I just wanted to live here. Like, I just always wanted to live here. Like, I don't know what it was. I was always drawn to the city. Every single year after I left, I will come back for spring break. Best advice I can give you is to visit frequently as possible. And it's going to be hard if you're in college, but you can go during spring breaks. 2016, 17, that's when I started to get into manifestation. Keep in mind, I've always been spiritual, but I was more religious at this time. So fast forward 2017, I'm really getting more into manifesting. To realize the power of the tongue and the power of your thoughts and the power of the things that you say. And I'm glad I did. I started to script without even knowing I was scripting. I didn't even know it had a name, but pretty much scripting is when you write out in the present tense a desired outcome. Writing my name out, and I was saying in the present tense, I'm so blessed and grateful that I live in Houston, Texas. I was putting a date on it. Like, I knew I couldn't move until I graduated, so I was making sure I put like the date after graduation. Just scripting and scripting and scripting and scripting. I had it in my planners. Anytime I could write some shit down, I would write it. So I did this for AKA too, but I had to be a little bit more discreet. Anyways, I started to manifest those things. Turns out I end up becoming an AKA. Keep in mind, all this time, ever since I moved out of my apartment, I'm sleeping on an air mattress. So that's getting ready for class, sleeping on the air mattress, working overnight, sleeping on the air mattress, just every day sleeping on the air mattress. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful because they didn't have to let me stay there. Like, of course I could have slept on the couch that's in the living room, but I found the air mattress to be more comfortable. But I was kind of embarrassed because to go from having your own space to sleeping on an air mattress, it just kind of makes you feel like it's humbling. It's humbling. You know what I'm saying? It's humbling. But I come from humble beginnings, so I was just happy that I had somewhere to be. And I was also grateful because I wasn't paying for that apartment. If I was still paying for that apartment, I wouldn't have been able to pledge. So during my whole pledge process, I was living there. And by the time I graduated, I had already been manifesting. So I just said all that to say I had been manifesting. Even when I had got to Baptist, I was manifesting. I knew that I was going to be moving back to Houston. I just didn't know like how it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen because if I can do it once, I can do it again. But this is what the logical mind will try to do. The logical mind will try to come up with things like, well, how are you going to pay this? Or how are you going to pay this? Keep in mind, rent in Houston is not cheap. You know, going from paying essentially nothing. Come on now. Like the logical mind in me, I was thinking, how is that possible? How am I going to do that? And I wouldn't even have a job because keep in mind, I was leaving my overnight job. I was making good money there, but I left that job so I can move to Houston. That job, it allowed me to put myself on a saving schedule. So let's get into it. Okay. So when you're manifesting, you do have to also be realistic to a certain degree because things cost money and you can't just do shit without having the money. What I did, I scripted out certain people giving me money. At the time, I knew who I could ask for money, who would be supportive. I put myself on a saving schedule. I saved $300 every 2 weeks. So you get 2 checks in a month. So I was saving $600 a month. So I did that. And my goal was to save at least $5,000. I did not have that amount when it was time to go, but I still got there because the U-Haul was paid for. My deposit, my first month rent was paid for, right? I made sure that I was doing my part. So when it comes to manifesting, it's like, yes, you're writing and scripting and imagining, like speaking things into existence, but you also have to put the work into it. So you know how the Bible says faith without works is dead. I wanted to make sure I was doing my part. So when you guys want to manifest something and you want to test the universe or God or the divine, whatever you want to call it, write it down, because when you write things down, that's what makes it real. The different energy behind writing things down. To take it a step forward, when you burn something after writing using the fire element, that's what makes me grateful for my journey, because you see how like I had to lose it, but I also had it. You know, I got to experience it. I feel like God was showing me a little glimpse of Houston, but also saying you're not ready yet, but I still want you to experience this. I didn't want you to just like stay in your hometown forever. I started scripting, then I got into mirror work. So this was right before I was getting ready to leave. I started getting into different manifestation techniques. So I started using that mirror to really manifest, and I would talk to myself and connect with myself, with my higher self. And one technique is when you force yourself to cry. So what I did, I started crying out of excitement because I was also manifesting $10,000. I was manifesting $10,000 for my move, right? So that was the number I will always say, $10,000. I ended up getting it not before I moved, but it was the same. Well, because that year went past, but that next year I ended up getting it like the beginning of the year. I had $10,000, which is fucking crazy. But that's why you have to be specific with your dates or whatever. And it's not always going to happen. So I forced myself to cry out of excitement, and I was just happy because I got the money, the $10,000 that I wanted, right? So that's what I was doing when I was crying. I was acting like I had got a call that told me, hey, this was deposited into your account, right? It's just so crazy how I ended up getting that money, but it wasn't before I moved, and I needed it before I moved, but I ended up getting everything I needed. So let's talk about days leading up to the move. And I'm gonna tell you guys this just so you can kind of know what to do. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't have all the money I need. So am I really going? Like, I had set a date. I said June 24th, 2019. I kept saying it and saying it and saying it. When people start asking, well, oh, when are you leaving? When are you leaving? June 24th. When you're manifesting something like that, it's like a physical change, it's a geographic change. So with that being said, you are going to have to tell people. It's not one of those manifestations where it's like, oh, keep it to yourself. Now, if you can do that and you're grown and you can do that, then do that. But you do want to let people know when you're leaving. Also, if you let the people that you know that you can trust, if you let them know, they'll also be there to support you and just kind of motivate you to keep going. Like my best friends, the fact that they let me stay there with them just so I can achieve and accomplish my goal, that means a lot to me. I told them that I was very emotional about it because you don't really understand like why God put you through certain stuff until after the fact, you know, like the fact that they even had it in their heart to do that, because we're, you know what I'm saying, we're in college. Like Dominique was in graduate school, KP, she was starting nursing school. So like that's a lot, you know, and they didn't have to open their home up like that to me, but they did, right? You do want to at least share it with certain people. Don't get me wrong, I shared it with quite a few people, like my line sisters, of course my parents, my siblings and all of that, but it's not something that I'm going to speak too much about. I said I'm moving, so I'm moving. Now, it was a lot of drama when it was time for me to move. I'm going to just say that. And I'm not going to go into detail, but just know I was getting hit left and right. So if you're in the same predicament, don't give up. Keep pushing. Why would you stop in the middle of the storm? Why would you stop when shit is getting hectic? This is all the more reason you need to get the fuck on. Period. This is all the more reason you need to get the fuck on, because your energy does not align with certain things and certain people. And you can't change that. You can't change people. You can only change yourself. You can only change your surrounding. Yeah, you can sit there and feel fucking stupid and feel unworthy by being around these people just to be around these people. But it's like, what is for you? Like, what things are for you and what things are not for you. Like, just because people are in your life temporarily, it doesn't mean it's forever. So what I'm saying is do what you have to do while you have to do it. But when you get the opportunity, or if you have the space and the time and the energy and the resources to get yourself where you want to be, where you can be in a good peace, a good state of peace, a good mindset, a good energy, then you need to do that. Like, basically what I'm saying is if you can change your circumstance, change it. I knew that I wanted to get myself in a better situation. I knew I wanted to align myself to where I could be somewhere where entrepreneurship is common. You know, it gets old when you're the only one that's doing certain shit, or you're the only one that's trying to strive for that. And it gets draining because the people around you, they're not gonna speak that type of lingo, or they're not gonna have that type of energy. I know somebody feels me. I know somebody. I'm right here with you. I know somebody is feeling what I'm saying. Like, basically what I'm saying in so many words is you learn that it's okay to outgrow people, because outgrowing people is how you become who you want to be, and outgrowing people is how you get yourself to where you want to be. So something I've learned throughout my spiritual journey that I'm happy to share with others is don't make other people responsible for what you want to do. Like, you should fully feel in control of what you want to do. It's not to say you're in control of the whole process, but you have to get inside your body enough to where you can say, okay, I can do this, without thinking it's unrealistic. I'm happy for my growth on my spiritual journey, because now I don't wait for other people to feel like I can do something. I feel like God wants me to pray and act on it. I feel like action is different things. Like, action to me is also writing petitions, planning, saving. Now, I'm not the type that's going to just save for no reason. I like to tell people to save with a purpose, because you're going to really save it if you have an actual meaning for the money versus you just saving for a rainy day. Like, I don't think like that. Like, if anything, save for a sunny day so you can do something you want to do, or you can buy something you want to buy, or give yourself a particular experience, you know? My main and kind of final last point was people are going to start tripping when it's time for you to leave. It could be a parent, could be just people in your life who aren't ready to see you go, because it could be hard for some people, you know, especially if they're used to you being around and they're codependent on you. Yeah, it's liable to happen. But I just want you to know that you have to stay focused on your goals. You can't let people guilt trip you. Like, your purpose on earth is to find your passion and find your calling. To some people, that's a job. To some people, it is being married. To some people, it's being a mother or being a father. But if you haven't found your purpose and you're all of those things already, then maybe it's time that you dig a little deeper and start doing shadow work. I always talk about shadow work. I'm aware that some of you guys are probably not on this video because of my spiritual channel, but I just wanted people to know that you can manifest, you know, a huge move, because my move was expensive. It took a lot. Moving out of state, you have to find somebody to drive the truck for you if you can't drive it, because my U-Haul had a trailer on it. So I put my car on the back of the trailer. So it's no way. And I had only had my car since 2017. So how would I know how to drive a trailer like that, you know? But I end up having somebody to drive it for me. And so I made it safely on June 24th, 2019. I made that happen. And I took a picture. I'm going to try to insert the picture here, but I took a picture, posted it on my Instagram. So you got to think, a lot of people probably was like, you ain't leaving. A lot of people didn't think I was leaving anyways. People be thinking you're just fucking talking or giving excuses. I'm not the type of person to give no excuses. If I don't want to do something, I'm just going to not do it, or I'm not going to reply. But, people start to get aggravated when you start to pull your energy away and you quit hanging out with certain people and you quit letting people play in your face and you quit going out your way for people when they wouldn't do that shit for you. They be big mad. Just watch. But the good thing is, when you move away, you'll finally have that peace and that solitude to be in your own energy. You're not going to have to be around people. You're not going to have to be there for the holidays around people. You might have experienced certain things in your childhood and you don't want to be around certain people. So, you moving it's going to give you that energy. It's going to give you that motivation. It's going to give you that space to really like be in your energy and learn yourself and heal yourself. So, I'm going to say congratulations in advance for those of you who are going to move and manifest this move. And for those of you who already have moved, congratulations, because I know it probably took you a lot. It's not easy for anybody to relocate. It's not, because you're giving up a lot to do it. And it's not something that you do lightly. Sometimes people spontaneously move, but it's not something that just happens every day for some people. Some people live in places for 50 years, 60 years. Now, I personally feel like if I don't live out of the country, then it would be in Houston, most likely, or somewhere where weed is legalized. Maybe when I'm older, California. As of now, I'm happy where I am. I'll never forget when I first moved to Houston, I started working out like crazy. I found a park that I loved. I still love this park, still go to this park. I would go there every morning and I would work out. And keep in mind, I didn't have no money. I'm literally going through it. When I tell you I was going through it, but I was making it my priority every day to enjoy my time there, because this is where I wanted to be. And I still do this to this day. I don't wait on nobody to go have fun. I don't wait on nobody to go do something that I want to do. I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? And I still have to grow more, get comfortable to the point to where I can go solo trips and stuff like that. But as far as just moving around, baby, I have no problems. In traffic, I have no problems. I had to learn traffic, because I'm not finna be sitting up anxious and nervous to drive. No. In Houston, you have to drive everywhere. Nothing is really close. Everything is 20 minutes away, either due to traffic or just the distance, because Houston is big. So yes, that's pretty much insights on how I manifested my move to Houston. I did it, so you can do it. Like I always tell y'all, I'm an average person. Of course, I think I'm extraordinary and I think I'm amazing and I'm special, but I'm to just the average person on the street, I'm probably just a regular person. So, that just goes to show that you can do it as well. I know for those of you who are still where you're at and you might want to move to Houston, you can do it. I can tell y'all a couple more tips that I did. I personally like Solange. She came out with an album called When I Get Home, and every single song is based on a street in Houston. So I listen to that album every single day. I listen to it, and it's funny because the album was about manifestation. If y'all don't know, Solange is into Black spirituality. I do think that Beyonce is heavily inspired by her sister. So if y'all pay attention to Solange and her, look at music videos. Look at music videos, because great artists put their memories and their artistry into their videos. So you'll see the way of life of these people or what's going on in their brain. And that's what I did to channel that energy. So I listened to that album. Shout out to Aquamarine, because I already know this is Aquamarine that's hey, keep going. This album came out in 2019, literally the time that I was manifesting my move. The album, When I Get Home by Solange. The first song is called Things I Imagined. So the song repeats, saw things I imagined. She's saying she imagined this using her imagination to manifest. So I saw it. It came into fruition. I was already tapped into the album, because I'm baby, what? Let me read you guys this. It says, with her fourth album, When I Get Home, the singer continues to push her vision forward with an exploration of roots and their lifelong influence. In Solange's case, that's the culturally rich Houston of her childhood. Some will know these references: Candy Paint, the late legend DJ Screw via the city's hip-hop explosion, but through Solange's lens, these same touchstones are evaluated to high art. People who are in this album: Tyler the Creator, Panda Bear, Devin the Dude, The Dream, Samples are works from Under, Harold, H-Town Legends, choreographer Debbie Allen, actress Felicia Rashad, poet Pat Parker, even the rapper Scarface. The result is a picture of a particular Houston experience as Solange could have painted it, and the familiar reframed as fantastic. Other songs I like, Way to the Show, that one is my shit. But the one that helped me manifest is Almeda. And it's so crazy because when I moved to Houston, the first place I lived was literally around the corner from Almeda. Another one I like is My Skin, My Logo. Baby, that one goes so hard. But the whole album helped me manifest. So if you really want to move to a place, listen to the music of the place. I promise you that will help. Another thing I did, I would play people on YouTube driving around. That's why if you notice in my videos, I play that. It's not because it's just random. I don't really do anything by chance. I do everything with intention. That's just me recreating what I saw. I would literally watch people drive around Houston. I would fall asleep to that. I would have it on my mind. Speaking it, be writing it, be burning it, be manifesting it. You know what I'm saying? But also put in the work. Like, do you think I wanted to work overnight? No. But I just chose to because I knew that working overnight, you're going to make more money. The hours that you're working, like, you can work more hours because you're not as exhausted. If you work during the day like everybody else, then you're going to be tired because the clients are up. So the clients have intellectual disabilities. So some of them are fucking throwing shit across the room. Some of them are trying to beat your ass and chasing you around. I done got chased so many times at work. Like, when I tell you, people outside of my job, like I said, the drama I was dealing with, them motherfuckers didn't know half of the shit I was going through. That's why I said, when I get out of here, I probably will never talk to these motherfuckers again. And haven't. Like, the people that stress me out can kiss my ass. I promise you that. Like, I'm all about forgiveness. But one thing about it, when it comes to you trying to deliberately, like, stop me from doing something, like, I can't stand that, you know? People see the light in you before you see it in you. So, you know what? I'm grateful for y'all for making me feel that way because it helped me manifest my goal. And if I can manifest in chaos, then I can manifest when I'm in a good vibration. It's so funny because the sun has came out. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. But I love you guys so much. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Turn on your post notifications. If you're new here, thank you for watching. My manifestors, I love you guys so much.
Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week.